Hey guys, Steve here. Today I am wearing my gym shirt because today we're going to be checking out this Yesoul G1 Elephant spin bike. I'd like to thank Yesoul for sponsoring this video and sending over this bike for me to check out and review. If you've ever looked into getting a Peloton or similar bike, this is a more affordable option to help get you started without breaking the bank. Not only is the bike itself cheaper than the competition, the fitness class app is also cheaper as well. So this bike, along with this 32-inch monitor, connect to your phone using the Yesoul app, and you can stream your training classes through that app to the bike. While there are several free exercise options within the Yesoul app, many of the teacher-led classes are part of their membership. Now their membership can be purchased either monthly or annually, and these prices are much cheaper than the competition. If you don't wish to have a long-term membership, you can pay by the month and take a month off anytime that you wish. Now, if you are a more frugal shopper like I am, you don't actually have to pay for a membership with this bike. Using my iPhone, I was able to play DRM-free video from YouTube, play music from Pandora or Spotify, read books, or even scroll through Facebook. While I wasn't able to play Netflix or Vudu because of DRM copy protection, I was able to stream my own video content that I had stored on my local network. So all the DVD and Blu-ray rips I have stored up, I was able to stream those to the bike. Even while I was streaming my own content to the monitor, I was still able to see my exercise stats on the screen, which were overlaid on the videos. So the 32-inch monitor is just that, it is just a monitor. There is no touchscreen. So besides power, everything is controlled using the Yesoul app. Starting classes, volume, and anything else all needs a phone or a tablet. Without a phone or tablet, the screen is just going to display a set of instructions that show you how to download the app. Unfortunately, there are no HDMI ports on this monitor, so you can't connect a Roku, a Fire Stick, or other streaming device to this monitor, which I think is kind of a miss. This bike was delivered in 2 boxes, one for the bike and another for the monitor. Weighing in at 88 pounds, this will be your first workout to get the bike into your house. Simply open the bottom of the box and lift the box up and over. Everything was well packaged, plastic over parts to prevent scratching, and securely taped in place. The only tool you'll need is a knife or sharp tool to cut the tape and a few zip ties. Every other tool needed to assemble the bike is included. There is no baggie full of miscellaneous bolts for the bike, as all bolts besides one were pre-installed into their final home. Simply unscrew the bolts, attach the parts, and reinsert the bolts. So this bike is so easy to set up that I did not even use the instruction manual. If you do not have your manual and you would like one, you can simply download one from the Yesoul Fitness website. In less than 30 minutes, you should have this bike unboxed and assembled. So start by attaching the 2 feet. Install the weight stand behind the saddle. Before inserting the handlebar tube, connect the data cable, and then you can tighten the tube in place using the screw knob. Pass the wire through the handlebars and tighten the 2 bolts closest to the saddle. Before installing the other 2 bolts, connect the data cable to the monitor mount arm and insert that mount into the handlebars. Tighten the bolts through that monitor mount. You want to find the loose bolt included in the tool bag and pass that bolt through that monitor mount arm. You can then use the plastic cover to hide these bolts. Below the handlebars, install the water bottle holder, and finally attach the monitor using the remaining metal plate and bolts. Oh yeah, don't forget to attach the pedals. Before your first ride, you'll want to adjust the bike to fit you. Start by standing next to the saddle and adjust its height to your hip joint, using the screw knob to tighten the seat in place. The handlebar should be slightly higher than the saddle. Finally, to adjust the seat's position forward or back, you'll want to start by sitting on the seat. Position the right pedal to the 3 o'clock position. Your lower leg should be perpendicular to the pedal and floor. Once you plug in the bike and turn the monitor on, you'll be prompted with a QR code. Scan this code with your phone's camera app. This will send you to the Yesoul app on your phone's app store. Once downloaded, open and create an account by entering your height and weight. Once complete, you can skip the course payment options for now. In the top right corner, click the plus sign to add your bike to your account. Now you must have Bluetooth enabled in order to find the bike. Next, enter your home's Wi-Fi credentials. Your bike and phone will need to be on the same network in order to stream your content to the bike. From there, you can now find a class or scenic adventure to start testing your new ride. While the content is streaming, you can use your phone to pause the video, change the volume, or adjust the image quality. The main use of this bike is for riding. You can actually use the Yesoul app for other exercise classes. And the monitor spins 360 degrees for you to view from any angle while exercising. So I brought in my wife, Michelle, to get her input on this bike. Now, she has worked in the exercise field for many years, so she has been around a lot of this equipment. So before we get started, this bike is called the G1 Elephant. And now, while I don't know the answer to this, I wanted to see what her opinion is. Why do you think this is called an elephant?
Because it has a trunk.
Yeah.
It looks like.
That's what I was thinking. Right on the monitor looks like a giant elephant trunk with two big ears as your handlebars. So I just think it's kind of funny that they called this the elephant. So after riding this bike for the last week, what do you think about the quality of this bike?
I think it's a good quality bike. It has a good foundation. So when I'm cycling, it's sturdy. When you're out of the saddle, standing up and cycling, it is a little bit wobblier, but most bikes are. So it's still a good foundation there. It's easy to adjust to yourself, and the monitor is great to give visuals of doing either classes or going through scenic rides. So overall, I think good quality with the bike.
So all the parts on this bike have a matte black finish on them, and they fit well together. So overall, they did a great job putting this bike together. So the first thing I remember you mentioning about this bike was the pedals. Can you talk about that?
Just different bikes have different types of pedals. So this is a pretty basic standard pedal where you just put your foot in, you can tighten it. If you're more of an advanced cyclist, you usually have shoes that can clip into different pedals to cycle. So that was just kind of the curiosity on kind of what level this bike was sometimes more advanced cyclists like the whole with the shoes with the clips, so that when they do cycle through, it just gives them a smoother stride.
Mm-hmm. And you can actually replace the pedals on this if you are one of those people that actually likes to clip in your shoes. Now, while riding this bike, have you noticed any noise coming up from it?
No, it's very quiet.
Yeah, and I notice when she's riding, I don't hear any noise coming from it. So this bike uses magnetic resistance to actually give you resistance for exercise. Now, the bike that my parents had when I was growing up uses physical brakes to cause resistance, which actually causes noise. And since this uses magnets, there's actually no noise involved there. And this bike actually uses a belt instead of a metal chain, so that reduces noise as well. Now, there are physical brakes on here. There is an emergency brake, so the knob that you use to change your resistance, if you push it down, it will cause a physical resistance and it will stop the pedals from spinning. So another thing you mentioned was that this bike doesn't use heart rates to estimate your training zones. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, so most equipment will use kind of the equation 220 minus your age to give a heart rate training zone of kind of where you should train at for different purposes. On this bike, I'm not sure the equation that they use, but they don't use heart rate training zones, but they use training zones based off of wattage somehow. I'm sure if we dug through their manual, we could figure it out, but it's just a different way of looking at it. Still an estimate of intensity, but it's something to go off of if you're looking for different ways to push yourself on the bike.
So if you guys are interested in checking out a good quality, affordable bike that has an inexpensive app, this is a good bike to check out. I will leave a link in the video description if you want to even just check out this bike, as well as a 10% promo code that'll save you an additional 10% on this bike. So thanks for watching this video, and I'll check you guys later.